It is totally understandable when you decide to transfer from a zero-star school to all that the Vols have to offer here in Knoxville. And today will be the final matchup of the trio of stars that left via the transfer portal this past season, and Marlon Dean is probably the biggest fish of them all. He led the team in sacks and TFLs last season, and we are still looking for a replacement for this type of production. While the focus is on the reunion, this Tennessee roster is mostly a threat on the offensive side of the ball. They brought in Kenny Minchey from Notre Dame to be their new starting quarterback, and he's not the only focus today because Ahmad Hardy is now a 96 overall, and this is never a good sign for our defense when we've been atrocious against the ground attack. I mean, this dog running across the field could probably go over 200 yards against our front seven. And if we have any hopes of just keeping this game competitive, we'll need to be locked in as a unit defensively. And we'll get tested early on in this third down for the Vols, as Minchey hits the slant and the drive will continue. Oh man, these up-tempo offenses never work out in our favor. We often get gassed early. But this isn't going to require much effort, as Tennessee will strike first. Touchdown by Braylon Staley. And immediately we can feel and see the speed difference this SEC team has against us. Just no shot for Ronnie Crum, who is out of position on this cover 4 deep drop. So that will get this crowd going even more than they were. It is rocking. As Robinson gets sent backward, and there's no love lost there as we get welcomed to the Dean's List. I remember the good times when he was making plays like this for us, and we can only hope that's the last time we call his name today, as Stanley feels the heat, and the incomplete pass will give the Vols the ball back at the 45-yard line. Minchey looking for more. This time it's zipped to the short side. Sloppy tackling, and there he goes! And Tennessee is gonna double up on the scoreboard. 2 drives, 2 scores, and this feels like it could be a long day. Stadium is going nuts, and Robinson will get it on the screen. And Branson Robinson breaks away, and that's a good start to get us some momentum back. But can they maximize being in Tennessee territory? It's Payton, and for now he'll keep the chains moving. Tawan Payton should be seeing more playing time with the way he's developed in this past offseason. We just have so many mouths to feed, as Stanley delivers on the run, and caught, touchdown, Javon Robinson. Fortunately, there will be no shutout today. But on the flip side, Tennessee just won't quit pushing the ball downfield. And here's Hardy, who rips off some Achilles inside the 20, and Hardy is finally pushed out inside the 10. Jason Talbot has had a tough start to his career, and the speed this offense brings to the table is just too much for us to handle. It's Hardy again on the inside give, and that will bring it back to a 2-score game. Believe it or not, this is somehow a better performance than last week's game against USF. As Murray gets crushed in the backfield, and I'm not sure where our production is going to come from if we can't run the ball. So here's a try through the air, and it's hauled in! What a catch and breakaway by Camreen Johnson, and the transfer from Wake Forest will score. I mean, what an extraordinary play. This is not what I had in mind when we recruited him from the transfer portal, but the balance he has in traffic has been so fun to watch. Unfortunately, that is all the celebration we can have, because Tennessee finished the half with a field goal. And there's another explosive play. It's too much speed, and that makes this a 17-point game. You knew the fire would eventually flame out, and TJ Stanley was painfully inaccurate in the second half. And the Vols knew that this was their moment to strike and wear us down. Our secondary was just gas against their speedy receivers. And don't get me started on these guys needing to stop the run. Henry ends up having a big day, and our offense was digging for crumbs. But there's Marlon Dean again. He, of course, would be the game changer today, and that would be the last time we'd see him. Because Tennessee's offense didn't quit and they walked all over us, which would lead to the backups to finish this off. Get me out of here. Tennessee would win convincingly with the final score of 45-29. We managed to make it closer than it really was, but it was against all backups at that point. Our defense once again gave up nearly 200 yards on the ground, and we didn't do much against their passing game either. It was a David versus Goliath matchup, but we were David with no rock. Marlon Dean made a big impact on the game. TJ Stanley had another 3-score game, but he was inaccurate for the majority of the second half. And we had to rely on our backups for the remainder of today's game. But it's okay. It's year 2 of the series against an SEC team. That's a lot to ask out of our guys when we are still just a 66 overall team. There's not too much to discuss about recruiting until the end of week 4, so we'll just jump into this next matchup against Jack State. I put them on the schedule because this is our 0-star game that we have been dying to see. We better win this game because their best player is a kicker, and he's the only 80 overall player on the team. Their quarterback is Roquan Barber. He was Coastal Carolina's quarterback last year, but he was hurt when we played them. So this will be our first look at the junior quarterback. The Gamecocks are off to an odd start. They lost to an FCS team and then came back to beat Georgia Southern 30-20. No complaints for beating our rivals, but we need to get the job done today so we can even out our record. And welcome to the Battle of the 0 Stars. Can't wait to see some no-mistake football. As Robinson gets the carry, and he'll shake and bake and shed off a bunch of Gamecocks, and what a start for the senior running back. Everything will be funneled through him today, and you can see why by how ferocious he is with the ball in his hands. As Stanley will dump this off on the screen to DJ Murray, and we can continue to take comfort by how deep we are at the running back spot. But in a 4th down scenario, we'll need Stanley's arm, and he'll flip this over to his tight end Camreen Johnson. We've seen him make some big plays like the one against Tennessee. Pitched out to Robinson. He breaks out the stiff arm, and there is touchdown number 1. Kind of wild that we're 3 games in and that's the first time he scored. Now Jack State looking to attack through the ground, and he finds daylight, and what a run here by Jalen Likely, the freshman. 51 yards, and we remained ineffective against the run, but we forced a 3rd down. And Barber didn't have many options there, so they pick up a field goal. So it's a 7-3 game, but the game plan still stays the same. We want to use a whole bunch of Branson Robinson and rotate our backs often. And here's the freshman Hakeem with a nice move and gets us across midfield. We're hoping that this run game will extend Stanley's time in the pocket, but this time he'll roll out, throwing off his back foot, and it's caught by Josh Aday. What a nice job to work his way back to the football, and TJ Stanley showed some good ability to work outside the pocket as Robinson continues to keep the motor going. He feels unstoppable. Until this moment, and Georgia State opted to match the field goal. Things are off to a great start in this 10-3 game. And now Barber gets crushed by Trey Grant, and that is good enough to get us the ball back. But really, it's been all 22 today, and we might have just flown a little too close to the sun here. Branson Robinson will not finish the game, and it's a torn labrum. So now it's a question of how much time he'll miss. As Aday has it, splitting the defenders, and Josh Aday showing some good burst. What an addition he's been. But now the question is, who's going to fill this Branson Robinson role? It could be DJ Murray as he makes the nice catch in traffic. We have plenty of options, and I'm sure we can get that sorted out soon. It could also be another freshman as Hakeem will tumble his way in for the touchdown. What a start for the Panthers in the first half. Jack State did manage to pick up another 3, but if we can keep running effectively, we'll be just fine. Just not there. 3rd and 9, Murray into pass block. But the pressure still gets there, and the ball is tipped and picked off. Stanley throws his 2nd of the season, but This ball just levitated too long in the air, and we're lucky that didn't result in a thick 6. DJ Murray saves a touchdown, Jack State in great field position. And now Barber is going to dance out of the pocket, and he'll slide his way inside the 10. Tough to cover when they continue to spread out our defense. And they do it again, and this time it'll result in 6. Jalen likely finds the end zone for the first time, and things are beginning to become a bit scary. And the 2-point try is also good. It's just a field goal game. But we came into this with a game plan, and we will stick with it no matter what. Trust that guys like Murray and even Tawan Payton can step up and pound the rock. And it was extremely effective, but can we respond to 3rd and longs? And there's your answer as Stanley gets flattened. This seems impossible, but Rickman will try a 55-yarder. And the kick is good! That is the longest kick of the series, and it'll give us a bit more breathing room for now. And Barber is going to keep this, and Barber continues to hurt us with his legs. Running QBs are so tough to guard, and Roquan Barber is just going to keep taking what we give him. 9 rushes for 75 yards. I can't believe how bad we are up front. And now there's no pass rush at all. And this is flipped outside, 1st and goal, Jack State. And this 2-score lead is in jeopardy, and it's all washed away. Touchdown, Jalen Likely, his 2nd. We're all of a sudden down by a point, and we're in 2-minute drill mode. Stanley deep drop. And the pass on 3rd down is too high for a day, and we're going to need to go for it on 4th down. Needing 8, blitz coming. Deep ball to McGee, and that's incomplete. Tried the back shoulder, but it's all up to the defense now here on 3rd and long. Our 2nd win of the season is on the line as the catch is made well short. And they are going to attempt a long kick as well. This one from 51. And their best player on the team makes it a 4-point game. We're down but not out just yet. Field goal obviously isn't going to cut it. Stanley is going to let it rip, and it's hauled in. Javon Robinson with an incredible catch. But they have to hurry things up. They snap it from the pistol. Stanley is going to shoot it towards the end zone, and he put too much on it. Intended for McGee, and it's 2nd and long. That looked like a weird snap. He'll handle it and let it fly. And that's nearly picked off, and Jack State almost ended it. Now we got to come up with our best play at this moment. Going underneath to Murray. He'll make the most out of this screen, and it comes down to this 4th and short. Spreading out the defense. Stanley throwing right side, and he airmailed it. And that's going to be a turnover on downs. It was intended for Camreen Johnson, who boxed out his defender, but this ball is 10 feet over his head. And Jack State will finish it in victory formation, and they will come away as the winners of the 0-star matchup. I can't believe we let another one slip through the cracks. That last play, among others, was the definition of how TJ Stanley has performed as our starting quarterback. It's been jarringly inconsistent, and the stats will show his ability to throw touchdowns through the first 4 games of the season, but the repetition to drive the ball downfield has been a letdown. And of course, we are still struggling to put all the pieces together, but we are 4 games in now. And there just hasn't been any signs that we can stop the rushing attack from either the quarterback or halfback. And the cherry on top is the worst news of them all. Branson Robinson is now going to be sidelined for 5 weeks, and this is the biggest punch to the gut when your best player is down. I really wanted Robinson to capture a 1,000-yard season and hopefully get drafted to the NFL, but those goals will now need to be put on hold. And if all goes accordingly, he will be back in Week 11 against Appalachian State. Which now brings the question of which of these backs will carry the majority of the workload. This is now their chance to show us. We've allowed over 180 yards rushing per game, and somehow it's only 2nd worst to Old Dominion, who's given up 245 on the ground. But it's not going to make a difference to those D tackles I'm trying to recruit. we're locked out because of our shortcomings. We did get a chance to set up some visits for week 6 against the Raging Cajuns, and these are some pretty big hitters to add to our board if they decide to commit to our school. I would definitely appreciate it if we can lock down some guys early so we can gain some flexibility to expand our targets. And Byron Radigan is certainly a player in that category with 90 speed. He's a route artist, and I would like to see guys just get open. Next game, we got our series rival in Troy. They lost their starting quarterback in the transfer portal and gained Malachi Singleton from Purdue. Thankfully, he's a pocket passer, and it could be a winnable game for us. It also looks like we will not see Teron Breeze, who's low in the depth chart, but maybe we can get a look at Kadron Bajan. These are the 2 commitments Troy snatched from us, and they are 2-1 coming off their bye week and a loss to Mississippi State the week prior. So this should be fun and exciting matchup, and we'll see if we can make the most out of these conference games we're about to go up against. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe and support the channel with a like on the video. Feel free to give me any feedbacks you may have on these videos, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.